How's it going, guys? It's Al. We're going to prepare for Monday Night Football. Typically, I get this video out on Sundays. I apologize. Real life gets in the way sometimes, and I couldn't get it out yesterday. So we're going to have a little short, truncated look at Monday Night Football here for tonight's game with the Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to build a lineup. We're going to look at cash game options. We're going to look at some tournament options to build a lineup on DraftKings. This is going to be a fun video, I think, based on this matchup. A really high-scoring game. Much better than the Thursday night game with the Cardinals. That was just a mess. The Cardinals' offense was horrible. Obviously, Mike McCoy fired, so hopefully things change moving forward. Nothing against Mike McCoy. I just thought that it was kind of offensive malpractice, the way that they were running that offense with the weapons that they have and the way that they were rolling them out and utilizing them. But these two teams, one, you guys know I like it when the puzzle pieces fit together, right? So I love when you have a player on Team A that does this one thing really, really well. And then Team B can't stop the thing that player on Team A does. Those puzzle pieces just fit together real nice. And we have that exact situation this evening on both sides of the ball. This should be a really fun, great offensive shootout game, which is so much fun for fantasy. So please click that like button, mash that subscribe button, ring the notifications bell so that we can get to this video. All right. There's a few ways that you can go for captain tonight, but really there's one way that you can go for captain tonight. Obviously, you can go multiple ways, right? Especially for tournaments. So you just need the highest scoring guy in your captain spot. For cash games, you're going to plug in one of two players. I think that it comes down to Saquon Barkley. For cash games, if you're playing head-to-heads, if you're playing 50-50s on a showdown slate, I think that you go with Saquon Barkley. Personally, I'm not mad if you go with Matt Ryan. Those are the two guys, in my opinion, that make the most sense in the captain spot. Julio Jones at 15.9 also makes sense a little bit. For tournaments, it's a different story, right? Because anybody on the slate that scores 2 touchdowns is somebody you're going to want to have in your captain spot. Last week with Denver, we said I said personally plug Emmanuel Sanders in. He had a fantastic game, a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown. Absolutely fantastic. But if you plugged in the Denver defense, they scored 2 touchdowns too. And in the flex spot, they get double the points. They didn't allow much in terms of points. So you kept those points against points. You had all the sacks. You had the turnovers. You had the touchdowns. And it allowed you to fit in all the other offensive players. And hopefully, if you fit in those players, you did very well. If you fit in the right players, obviously you had to have Emmanuel Sanders. You wanted to have Keenum as well. And some other dudes, but and that's where people kind of get lost in terms of tournaments. With your captain spot in tournaments, you want to have guys that have 25 to 30 point upside possibility, right? Now, sometimes this is going to work out where the defense just kind of makes sense. Or if a kicker kicks like 2 50-yard field goals and has 20 points, would that make sense on that given night? Yes, but the probability of those things happening is much lower. So is Tevin Coleman somebody who has multiple touchdown probability? He can, but is it a high probability for somebody like him? Not in my opinion, because Tevin Coleman loses red zone snaps and red zone carries to the judge, and now I can't find him. Ito Smith, touchdown in each of the last 3 games, not getting massive volume, but a couple of weeks ago, we had Mark Ingram on an island game in one of these showdown slates, and he kind of fulfilled that as well. Had like 14 touches, and 2 of them were touchdowns. If you had him in your captain spot, you did quite well. I think Ito has a higher probability of multiple touchdowns this evening than does Coleman. He comes in at a lower price. He costs you $6,600 in your captain spot. So for tournaments, I would personally prefer to go with Ito in the captain spot over Coleman, even though Coleman's volume is going to outpace Ito's by a large margin. But once they get inside the 5 and inside the 10, Ito's volume doubles Coleman's volume. For whatever reason, that is just what it is. So for me, I'm chasing touchdowns at captain in tournaments if I'm playing anybody that's off the main road. And for me, the main road at captain is Barkley, Ryan, Julio Jones. You might be able to throw Beckham in there, but Atlanta, more of an offense that works shuts down the outside and forces everything towards the middle of the field. So if we're going to build a Barkley lineup, We plug him in. I've said that I want Ryan as well. I don't think I can afford either one of these guys these three that are up here with these two guys that are here. Already spoke about Ito Smith. We have Evan Ingram coming back from injury. I've already just told you that with the amount of catches that Atlanta's allowing in the middle of the field, they allow like 8 to 9 catches a game to opposing running backs. They also funnel things towards the tight end. This was before they suffered injuries to their safeties and linebackers that they expect to chase and tackle after those players make plays in the middle of the field. Outside, if they figure if their defensive philosophy is if the ball gets caught outside, that can turn into a long gain and a touchdown. If it gets caught on the inside, we can swarm and tackle, essentially. But now they can't really tackle as well with those guys out of the middle. We have 5,700 remaining. That leaves us in this dead zone, right? We've talked about this. Every single showdown slate, there's this gap, right? These guys are bunched. Then there's a massive gap to the 7K guys. Then there's the 6K guys with the backup quarterbacks. So none of these are playable, in my opinion. So you go down from like Sanu, who is playable, down to like Hooper and Ingram down here. Hooper coming off of a couple of big games as well, right? This is weird to me to see Hooper with 10 and 12 targets in 2 straight games. That just has not been the way that Atlanta has utilized him over the last couple of seasons. If he's going to stay at 7+ targets a game, I'm not going to say he's going to stay at 10+ targets a game. That's unrealistic for him. If he stays at 7+ targets a game, he becomes a very palatable play moving forward. If I thought that he was going to get 7 or 8 targets tonight, I think he's kind of a must play at 5,800, probably above Ingram. But based on the matchup, I think that I like Ingram better here to get 6 to 8 targets himself at a lower price against a defense that is not only ill-equipped to stop him, but kind of doesn't want to either. A lot of chat about Wayne Gallman. Maybe at 1,800, he's not somebody that really thrills me, not somebody that I really want to go after. You know, not a play that I like making, not a play that I love here. If you want to go with a kicker in this lineup, if you want to go with a defense in this lineup, I want the Atlanta kicker, DeVecchio. That pushes us up to 8K. Can we afford an 8K guy? You can get Tevin Coleman into this lineup. What if we want to get Shep? Again, I like the supply. What about Sanu? Right? And for those of you who are like, well, look, Sanu's great. I have a problem with Atlanta because I never know where the targets are going to go. Right? Can we get one of these dudes in here? We'd have to punt. It would be a pure punt, right? Like these guys who don't even play. His name is Logan Paulson. That didn't mean play Logan Paulson. Okay? That was just a Fight Club reference. That does not mean I was telling you to play Logan Paulson. So don't, like, when Logan Paulson has, like, no catches tonight, don't say, oh, you said to play Logan Paulson. I'm going to type and get him. That's not what I said to do. Don't take that the wrong way. I was quoting a movie that I absolutely love. Okay? We're clear, right? Okay, we're clear. Sanu got hurt early. Yeah, he did. Where's the, how owned do you think he's going to be tonight, chat? How owned? Do you think that people are still going to be riding like this? Like playing whack-a-mole on these? Are we done chasing the ball around the roulette wheel on Calvin Ridley now? And we accept that he just kind of is what he is? Right? He's a mid to low target guy. Chat's going crazy on Logan Paulson. Got Logan Paulson locked into captain. Thanks, Al. Exactly. Somebody will be in my mentions tonight, and not ironically, they will probably be doing that in my mentions this evening. So like I said, I don't think we can fit those guys in there. So you're gonna have to pick 2 mid-ranges. Shepard. You can go to Tavecchio. This gap is gonna provide people headaches this evening, right? I think that's a pretty clean lineup if you're looking for like a cash game kind of look for tournaments. Like we said, if you want to plug somebody cheaper, right? So looking at somebody like Ito or Ingram, right? Guys that can get you a touchdown or 2. I prefer Ingram to Ito. That is going to allow you now to get Barkley and Ryan and Jones or Beckham. And now we can focus on getting one play down here. If you want to go with one of the defenses, if you think that there's going to be a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown, you want to plug Ito in here. That still leaves you with that. You can still get that. A lot of ways to go on this slate. I like games where there is a lot of scoring. This is definitely a game where there should be a lot of scoring. I love offense. This game has it. So I'm going to play this slate. I'm going to have some fun with it, and I hope that you guys do too. Remember, a single game slate has a ton of variance, okay? Nobody's going to be able to project on a single game where all of the volume is going to go in one play, one broken play, one defensive touchdown return, one fumble recovery, that turns into a touchdown the other way for the defense, 2 50-yard field goals. How can you predict those, right? Emmanuel Sanders recording 3 touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 passing, and 1 on the ground. Completely unpredictable things can happen on a one-game basis versus the larger sample size. The more games you have, the more opportunities you have to flex your knowledge and your edge in those games. So I personally play these showdown slates very casually. I play them for tournaments. I try to bank a tournament here and there just to have an entertainment value for this island game. We got lucky last week. We took down the Monday night tournament. We're going to try and do it again tonight. Don't know if we're going to get to the top of the mountain. We're going to give it a shot. Thank you for joining. There's that subscribe button. Here's another video for you to check out if you would like. Please click something. I would appreciate having you hang around. We'll catch up to you later. Bye, guys.